My intention is to sync because I wasn't able to join last weekend, so I want to catch up on what we are up to with in transparency, and yeah, maybe talk about the audit as well. If what progress we're making there. I mean, yeah, and if there's anything, if there are updates on the audit. Distraction. I haven't slept since last night because I've been working on some documents. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna pass out anytime, but yeah, I'll try to stay focused. I pass it to you, NT.
Well, thanks. My intentions, yeah, are just to see what's up with the audit, what's needed, and how can we get things started. Also, catch up on the master sheet call because I can make it last week. Distractions, um, nothing really. I'm feeling great, and nothing's happening around. I'll pass it over to you, Bert.
Yeah, thank you, Auntie. Sorry, guys, I'm a little bit late. I had some stuff to do. But just my intentions, yeah, just to sync in regards to the master sheet. Uh, I think Rex is doing a great work. He showed me some stuff he's been working on, and yeah, just see what's how's the future looking like for transparency. And I don't have any distractions, so I just pass it to Durgadas.
I don't see an agenda in the transparency chat, so.
Oh, I can send you the link, but I'm also sharing the screen.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. So yeah, apart from like regular transparency, business, I do have a bit of a controversial question to ask, and that is, a couple weeks back, Loy had a very disturbing tweet that went out, and I didn't know. I raised it immediately to Wonka, but I didn't know what the result of that is, And so, do you know what I'm talking about, Zeptimus?
Yeah, but I actually think that's not the place to talk these things. Like it's
Okay.
it's not related with TC. So
it's not.
No.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it's not like it's
yeah.
private life of two people.
Sure. Well, okay. So, all right. Thanks, guys.
But okay, he only wanted to talk about that, but that's cool. Yeah, let's pass it to Jean. Any intention, distraction protocol, any agenda topic you would like to talk?
No specific topic, just trying to sync and listen in and find out what the status is of everything, and no distractions to speak of. Thanks, Empty.
Lefty, if you're talking, I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Abby. Yeah, I was talking. I was actually searching for this master sheet. Let me put it on this same tab so you also guys can see. So yeah, basically that's what Rex was working those days. Like in this master sheet, like what is having is like all the transactions from all the sheets we already have been updating. So here we have common pool movement. Okay. Oh yeah, I see. But this is not showing everything, just some, until we have like all the sheets together. But basically, what I'm seeing here that Rex wants to show is like the common pool outflows and inflows, but somehow the inflows is not showing them. I should talk with him.
I think it's holding XDAI. That's why maybe it's not showing them, right?
Yeah, but the ABC is giving us inflows every time. So there should be inflows in here. Like if you go to tune, like the common pool started with 900K at some points have like 1.2 million. So that was like
but
big.
those are just like the inflows for each working group.
Oh,
Like you can see like gravity is towards transparency on the top.
oh, I see. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's like for each working group individually.
yeah, I think that will always be zero. So I don't know. I don't get the point of doing that. Like the idea is like the idea behind the commons is like the economy feed on the work stream. Like the idea is like we have volume on the, and this is what is not happening. Like we have volume on the ABC. This volume send money to the common pool. This common pool funds the public goods for free. Like public goods normally are free, so I'm not expecting to have revenue. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, maybe at some point, like some working group could have some revenue in, right?
But why would they send them to the TC instead of having it for them? What's the point? Like if I do a business, like like if transparency, for example, do audit for Aragon or for other things, why it should send it to the common pool, like instead of
Well,
getting it.
I would say like those would be like kind of like up to the working teams. Like we wouldn't know, right? So, well, I mean, if you wanna delete it, I guess just tell Rex
Um,
and that should be okay.
I don't think we should delete it, but I think we should show everything. Like, uh, I think actually that's cool having like common pool, outflows and inflows, and we could say like, uh, yeah, the numbers are weird, but I would frame it differently. Like I would frame it like, okay, in like for the ABC, I would put it monthly. I think that's a good thing. And then that's our monthly inflows from the bonding curve. And this is our outflows from working groups, T projects, whatever. Like just having inflows or outflows of the common pool. And then the final, the grand total should be the same thing we see on the gardens. I don't think it will work with this browser, but I'll try. Yeah.
Because like
Oh,
I don't know, for
yeah.
me, my understanding, like the master sheet was just like the aggregated amounts from the working groups, right? I don't know if now
No.
the plan is to
The
aggregate
the
everything around the
yeah,
TEC.
exactly. That's what we want to do. Aggregate everything around the TC and define and on this common pool movements. The final value should be this one. How we get this number, and then we will have like all the expenses from working groups and inflows very little, but the ones from the bonding curve and Gitcoin grants that is not being sent yet. It's on a Graph wallet, but that's it. And then actually like show why do we have this money on the common pool and not the one we had at the beginning.
Yeah, that's a little different to what I had in mind, but if you guys already decided, then that's fine.
I mean, it's not like no one decides anything, but for me, and I don't know for the rest, but what's the point? Like gravity have expenses. That's things we all know, and this information is actually on the working group spreadsheet. So I mean, I think it's cool to know. Okay, how much it'd be nice also to show how much every working group is asking for, and then also what everyone accomplished with this money. This is accountability, and this is good. But just having like I and this is something, I mean, I think it's very controversial, but I don't think like any working group will send money to the common pool, like never. Like I don't envision that. Like anyone envision it differently. I don't know, Ivy. I would like to know your thoughts, but
Sorry about this sheet.
oh no, like working group sending back, like I'm asking you because you are also asked since the beginning, ask me. So also like to get some common sense. Like, do you expect working group sending money to the common pool?
I mean, what's the goal of sending money to the common pool
Yeah,
for
I
the
don't
working group?
like the idea of the commons is like, we have all these common goods,
Yeah,
and then the idea is finance the common
yeah,
goods,
yeah.
and then the ABC mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do not envision like gravity. Like gravity is getting money from Aragon, and the thing what gravity, and it's the only working group that is having inflows, and I don't think gravity is ever going to send this money to the common pool. And I think we should be clear with that. I mean, I don't want to talk in name of gravity, but I would talk in name of transparency, like, or at least what I'm doing. Like, I will, and I also told it to the stewards, like, transparency will never generate money to the common pool. And I think it's the same for every working group. Like, if you got a business, like, what's the point of, or like, it's like having a company. Like, I have a company and I produce bread, and then I send it to the government because I don't know, the government is there. So I mean, you pay taxes, but other than that, like, I don't think it makes sense. And we actually are trying to avoid what the government is doing. So yeah. Hey Rex, actually
Hey, hello.
we were
What's up?
discussing in here, and we just opened the master sheet. Like, yeah, you did a great work in here, but we were just chatting about this one, and I think like we could, like, I think like this, have common pool movement. It's very powerful tool, which be awesome. But I think like we should have not only working groups, but also the ABC. So the idea should be like looking at this chart, and then I think it would be nice if we have graphics or something. But we could see like, okay, inflows from the funding curve, and then expenses from every working group. Then also we will have inflows from Gitcoin grants. That right now it's on a Glyph wallet, but at some point it's going to be on a sending directly to the common pool. That's something we voted on Snapshot. But yeah, like my feedback in this sheet, in this tab, would be adding all the information, like not only working
Okay.
groups, but like all the TC information we can feed.
Can we have a list of this stuff? So basically, I know we're still missing half the working groups for now, so we need to add
Yeah,
all of the data there.
yeah. Of course, like this is work in progress, but I also would love to add and I think you could pull it from the Dune actually. In this you can have like if you zoom those two, this is our inflow in January. This is February. Like you have it for month, and then
Yeah, like if you click on the name for that one, no, on the Dune, I mean, like
okay.
if you go back to Dune on the graphic you're talking about, if you click on the name of tribute distribution there.
Here.
No, si vas al gráfico que querés, ese Tribute Distribution, y le das clic al nombre, Tribute Distribution, te da aquí abajo, so you have the blue line, the blue thing that says Tribute Distribution, total tribute, blah, blah, blah. If you click on query results, the query results should give you the table that is getting there. So
yeah, but I mean, like if you want it for month, like I think you can just pick it from here. Like you go here, and then I mean that's something like a human has to type, but you just do the sum of those two values, and then you put it like for January. January, what's the income of the ABC on January? 234K something.
okay, so this is the augmented bonding curve. These movements, they go into the common pool, no?
Yeah, directly.
Okay, so is
Like,
there is there any reason why not to have just the whole like, yes, we can pull those things. Is there any reason to not have like a common pool one, or is that too difficult because ABCs are paid like on the exit, so they're erratic, and like having someone manually pull those through is just going to be a pain in the neck?
I didn't understood what do you mean. Do you mean in the mastership?
What? Yeah. So you want to include ABC?
I mean, yeah. If we want to put common pool movements, like the common pool have inflows and have outflows, right?
Yeah.
Inflows is the ABC, outflows are the working groups and TE projects.
Okay.
Right.
And the ABC is, how is that ABC? Like, is it a specific smart contract?
Like when you go to the converter, actually, like convert AC.org. Okay, this is the.
Okay, yeah. It is the smart contract.
Yeah.
So that's
so you, I don't know, you buy TC and then 11% on every buy is going directly to the common pool. Actually, this is my big moment to shield the project I'm working on. Wait, I just make a proposal today. And yeah, basically, I want to have an advanced page on the converter, but for this, I only want to mention this. And basically, this is the user experience. So the user, when he's minting TC, sending the money to a smart contract, and then 8% of this GraphText die is going to the common pool as entry tribute, and the rest is going to the reserve. This is wrong. This is GraphText die. It's going to the common pool, and then go to the smart contract and send the guy TC. So and it's the same for burn, but for burning, like entry and exit tribute are different. But every time someone is interacting with the bonding curve, is sending money to the common pool.
Okay.
So yeah, my idea was like having, because with this information, I feel like we can. This is. I feel like I misinformation to assume stuff. Like if we get inflows, outflows, we can also, do a small prediction, even if it's not going to be accurate because of the how conviction voting works. But at least we can have estimation of how much the DC is getting, how much the DC is spending, and then do stuff with that.
Okay. So basically, I think the easiest way to go around this one is I can because the common pool is just a multi-sig. I can query.
Oh no, common pool is not a multi-sig.
The common. No, the smart. So the
common pool is on the garden.
You're interacting with it through a smart contract. However, this money is going into the reserve and the common pool.
Some money is going to the reserve. Like the reserve and the common pool are two different things. Reserve is what the reserve is, like the money that goes to back TC. Like if people start selling TC, we make sure like they have money because the money is on the reserve. So we just once actually, like I could show you. I need to open it. If I have it here. Yeah. When someone is burning TC, so when someone is sending TC to the smart contract is burning this TC and then is pulling GraphText die from the reserve. The reserve and the common pool are two different things. Reserve is like the money that's baking the TC, and the common pool is the money that the token holders are managing through conviction voting on the gardens. So this money is coming out of the reserve pool, and then 9%, whatever percent, the exit tribute is sending to the common pool, and the rest is going back to the user.
Okay.
So I don't think we need to, like the reserve it's okay because it's money, like it's backing the token, and it's always going to be there, and always will have, unless we do something scary or crazy, like it's the reserve ratio is going to always be almost 20%, unless we do top opening on the smart contracts.
This makes sense. What I mean is, on Dune, the transactions with this. So if I look at receive and send, it's gonna have the smart. So if I go on the multi-sig of the common pool and on the multi-sig of the reserve funds, there's gonna be transactions there directing to the smart contract, and that's all I need for that one. What I meant is, why not just pull out all of the transactions from the common pool and from the reserve, and also have another.
Oh yeah. You already have them here. Like this is the common. Like this is the ABC, and then
I know those are aggregated every month. I know. What I mean is, I can go a level lower. I can go a level lower and just take the whole of the data set. So yeah, I can do that and start categorizing funds to the. So you have the counterbalance, right? Because basically the common pool is just a sum of what the working groups say they've received, plus like all of the monies coming in from the ABC and the other grants. So
yeah, but I mean, if we are doing here in the master sheet, like do you also want to do it on Dune? But like the treasury is here. This is what you already did, right?
yeah.
This is like the balance.
Yes, that one has the balance for TC and XTI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like the only I think like the only thing we need to add to this common pool Excel it's just the ABC, and that would be it. I think with that, like we have like the information, like the final value of this is going to be this.
Okay.
So I think that's all we need.
Okay, so I'll take a look at that, adding the ABC, and in the meantime, yeah, it's like so adding the ABC is something I can take a look at, and then yeah, other guys, like, have you considered how we're gonna get the other working groups on to like put all the transactions in? If someone already working on that, or
yeah, I'm converting them. Yeah, I'll cover that.
okay.
Edu probably will have like I'm planning to do laser tag and rewards today, tomorrow. So we will have 2 more. But this is something like it will take at least a couple of weeks more. So, but when it's done, it's always, it's just updating it. But it will take, a couple of weeks to everyone get because it's extra work to them. So
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. And just to let you know, you remember last week we had a problem where like some of the columns were in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I fixed some of them. If they're renamed with this new scheme that says blah 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 sheet or hyphen TC balances, I fixed them. The other ones, the working groups that haven't done anything, I haven't fixed. But it was a very simple fix, so it's just like I'll do it when I add them.
When they okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. So then that's person. Okay. This is good. This is sum of outflow.
That was the category.
We also need to add the rewards here. Like the
rewards as in
TC.
That's all the TC. So the TC stuff is gonna appear there. as Aragon Zero. That's all the TC that was in the in the sheet so far. So
why say 0?
I think that's just a column that says TC Aragon 0, and it was just a tester. It wasn't. It doesn't.
Okay. I'll turn this one. I'll check out later. It's okay. But yeah, the idea is like having like when I'll do the reward master sheet, and basically like it's this. The last one, this Nagan, January. So yeah, on January all these people receive TEC. Like
You can just copy paste that.
What?
You can copy paste that.
Yeah, but we need to do it like it's like since July, and we have already until January. But yeah, the idea is like just copy paste all of this information, and this is on TC. So all these people is also being rewarded by the rewards system of the TC.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's it for this. Okay, yeah, this supposing it's working good, it's perfect. Category, yeah, that's great. FCBC, what's that?
So this one, we have a toggle there on the sheet saying whether this is a recurring cost or not a recurring cost.
Oh, I see.
So as to say these are fixed costs and these are the variable costs.
One?
Yeah. So most of the costs that we're incurring are marked as fixed costs.
Okay. And then metadata. Yeah, this is where we add the.
I put Stampo as shampoo because I thought it was funny.
Samurai shampoo. You watch the anime?
Shampoo. And that one's just a tester. It doesn't.
Okay.
It's just one that I add stuff to test out.
So, is there anything like someone in the call think we should add to this sheet, like to inform the community? Like, is there something like we feel it's missing? Ivy, Chin, Henty, Bear?
I mean, I have to admit I was a bit distracted, but I think it looks great so far.
Great.
Cool.
Can I have the link to that, Zepti, or is it in the?
Yeah, I'll DM you the link.
Can you DM me the link as well, please?
I'll just put it on transparency so you both can pick it.
Okay. And so I'm not. What I'm wondering right now is like so what's the like how does the sheet feel into the audit? Because I'm just catching up. Because I believe that's a living document, right? And so at some point we have to sort of take the information and put it into the audit, or how is it going to work?
Yeah, similar. Go ahead, Rex.
Yeah, you can do a copy at timestamp X onto the other thing and have the same thing as you had in the audit report 001. So you can filter by on the master sheet. I did add some filters. I didn't explain them because don't need them yet. But essentially on the big sheet you can filter by working group, by month, and so on. You can just take a snapshot and copy every transaction that happened from March to June in a couple clicks and put them into wherever we're putting them.
Cool. And so for the audit, I'm also wondering if the format is changing or like because I haven't heard anything for the other sections we had on the first audit. I'm not sure if we are not doing them or if or what.
Yeah, I think like we should present something similar to the last one, like no big feedback, and yeah, and then for the yeah, I think like this master sheet will simplify, like especially part 4 that I was doing last time. Like with this master sheet is, but now it's Rex doing it. It's going to be much more easy, like for future iterations. Like right now, yeah, we are building all these things and it's taking some time, but then in the future it's going to be way more smoother.
Mhm.
And then I also wanted to say you, Rex, if you are up to present this master sheet tomorrow in Sampo to gather feedback from that working group.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, I'll let Gideon know, like so he can also put like 10 minutes or something, so you can explain this master sheet and yeah, make sure like to ask people like what they would like to see that is not being seen here, and yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, I think if no one wants to say anything regarding this master sheet, like we could move to the next topic. Yeah, I actually want, since I make it today. Like I basically no, not this one. ABC page. Basically, like there was a project that was supposed to be done by TEC and Common Stack, but given the market conditions, like the Common Stack doesn't have the money, so I included the project management in the transparency proposal, but like the designs and development is not like we didn't request any funding because Common Stack was supposed to pay for that. So I'm making a proposal to the TC for 5K, but we like it could cost like 3.3, like that's what our estimate, but I'm sure like there will be unexpected work, especially with the development side. So I'm asking for 5K to pay development and designs, and whatever is left, like we just send it back to the common pool. And yeah, the idea is like having like when people is interacting with the compiler, like right now people is just coming here and it just looks like a swap page, and like even you, Rex, didn't had any idea like about the pools and everything. So we will have like a button, like we also want to keep this simple one because for some folks like they just want to buy or sell TC and that's fine, but then also have like an advanced page, like a button here that links you to the to the advanced page that I don't have to take my here, but basically in this advanced page we will see like the mean price, pool price, entry and exit tribute. So all those information will be more clear. Like we will have like circulation, supply, like the money we have in the reserve and the money we have in the common pool. This will be apps that will be interactive. So someone will say, I want to mint TC, so he puts the amount in here, and this chart will automatically show how much money is going to the common pool, how much money is going to the reserve. Then they just click mint and they mint the TC, and then also like we will have like the burn. So when you change to here, it will also change the graph in here, but all of this will be interactive. And then yeah, also like we really think like people should know where we are at the bonding curve, because if you are at this point on the bonding curve, like as a speculator, you would say I want to buy, but imagine like okay, everyone is selling their TC, and then I only me is not selling, so then all the common pool money is just mine, right? Like there is, and since in every transaction there is always sending the tributes, the common pool is always gathering tribute. So the common pool is always going to have money. Like it will never run out of money, and that's something like I feel like people do not have it clear. So the thing is like in the lower point you are in the bonding curve, like the more value incentives you have to buy as a speculator, and the higher you're in the curve, like because then it becomes flat. So the price also, you don't have neither price speculation value, neither incentive as a governance. Like the lower you are in the bonding curve, every token much more to govern the common pool. I hear someone to unmuted, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering how can the common pool not run out of money if we spend it? I mean, yeah, how does?
Because actually, like that's something like conviction voting. How conviction voting works. So right now, look, Chu is asking for 6K, and in order to pass this 6K, they already have like 29K of TC, and they still missing some 25. Like they need like almost like 50K to pass this proposal. So it's becoming harder and harder, which means like at some point it will be almost impossible to take money away. For example, like when we make, the first day like the commons launch, we had like 1.2 millions in the common pool, and in order to pass transparency proposal, which was 16K, we only needed 20K to pass it. Like, and now he's asking only 6K, which means 10K less, but he needs like more than twice the value to pass the proposal.
Okay, so we could maybe it would always have money, but it could get to a gridlock point where nobody can spend it, basically.
Yeah, that's true. And also like the spending limit, it's 11%. So in one proposal, at this point, like if Sampo, for example, wants to take money away for the treasury thing, if they act for more than 75K, it would be impossible to pass. So
So
it's no way doing it by conviction voting. Yeah.
at some point, if it's gridlock, we want to motivate people to sell their TEC to get people who want to vote on proposals positively to be the only ones holding at that point, right? Or
I mean, there is, yeah, yes and no, because who would sell, like if like imagine like the economy is me and you, and we have like 100K in the common pool, and then my tokens are value 50K, yours are also 50K, but then you sell yours, you get your 50K back, and then I have like with my 50K value tokens, I'm governing like 100K, which means you selling lose the thing. Like I even if we had the same tokens, I have more value than you just because you sell. So at this point, it's the other way around. Like people are incentivized to buy, which means also sending common tributes.
okay, cool, thank you. Yeah, I like the proposal for the advanced page very much, and it was neat.
Yeah,
More education on the ABC because and conviction voting in general. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, great. And yeah, I think it's also very cool for the, not only, I mean, for the TC, of course, like it's a project that it's good for the TC, but the good things about open source, like, any commons on Common Stack or launching a commons will have like also this advanced page because since it's open source, it will be copy paste and change the branding. Like we also making like the development side, like we're taking care of making it the template like applies for future projects. And for example, like Gravity in the future they also want to have like their hatch, gardens, ABC. So it's something like they can also just copy paste into their convert page and they will just have it by free. It's open source.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's really good. Are we going to start changing the branding and our reference words to the Commons market maker versus ABC, or we're just going to keep using ABC? Didn't Block Science say they're referring to it as a Commons market maker now, something like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, normally like if they are framing it this way, probably it will run over. But in my brain right now it's ABC. But yeah, like that's how Simon de la Roviere, who created the bonding curve, name it, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I think it depends to the people, but yeah, in the common things like like I know, like for example, One Hive is also talking on these parameters and working on naming, like the token freeze, token thaw. It was the cliff and the thief. So names are names. As long as we can communicate what we want to say, that's what matters. But yeah, regarding this advanced page, this is basically what the scope of the project is. And then the last topic in the agenda is the audit. So actually, like, would you like Ivy to make an epic like you did the last time?
Sure,
And then
Zetzi. But can we review the sections?
yeah,
I know that we will use the same sections as before, but I don't know if you want to include the master sheet in the audit, and
in part 4.
does
No,
it
but
need its own category, or does
no, I think it's part 4, but then it's like the
okay?
decision tracking doc. It's like a tool to make the part 4 easier.
All right.
Let
Okay.
me.
Yeah, I'll make the epic.
Okay.
On
But do you
the
want?
one, like just on the audit report number 1, like you can add a bunch of appendices if you need for all of the tables, rather than having them straight up like in the middle of each section. Not sure you consider that, or
I didn't understood.
like poner las tablas de apéndice.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
Like doing an appendix is basically saying refer to the end of the document to see them as a table.
Yeah.
So they're not in the middle. If you're
I would prefer
wanting
if we could show them visually, so people don't need to move. Like if we have it in one doc, it would be better. But if we cannot, like at some point, we can also see, like, yeah, check this graph. But ideally, we have it all presented. Like we even are paying a designer, so. So yeah, maybe we could get to help Ivy on making the epic. We could say who's making what. I know, like you, Ivy, were doing that. I know. I think we did it, but for some reason it's not here. Ivy, we were doing this one too, right? This was Rex. This was me. And this was empty. And I think, like Bear, you could also like be on all of them supporting. I think that'd be cool if you want. But the one who will make sure like these parts are done, it's like we only have 5 parts now. Okay.
Yeah, sure. No worries.
Great.
Right now, I would only like ask if, because I think that like in the space we are doing, I think it's really good like to experiment and do iterations of things, like constantly improving stuff.
Yeah.
So I would only ask if you guys have considered like any way in which we could like improve it a little better compared to the previous one.
We actually make a forum post and we ask for feedback to the community in here, but people is like, I like it, but no one is sharing feedback like how to improve. Like, but we have like this section. Like in this section, anyone in the community who thinks some parts should be differently, they should comment it in here. Yeah.
Maybe it would be a good idea kind of like to revive that discussion around the community. Maybe, I don't know, maybe take it towards council or towards call or something like that.
We already did that. I think what we should do is like have the second one similar to this one and then make a reminder of that. Like we make another forum post, which will go on the top and ask to the rest, But this is something like it's happening every iteration. We already did it on the first one. There was no big, and like I was even in a one-on-one with Grief, and then I was also presenting it on the stewards. Like people was like, yeah, that's cool, but there was no feedback like how to improve it or anything. Like they were saying like it's cool.
I
I
see.
feel it.
Yeah. Well,
If you want
maybe
to add,
feedback between the group here and transparency, maybe something could come up. Sorry, Rex, you were gonna say something.
yeah, like you can also add some of the charts, some of the we can essentially kind of add the stuff we've been doing in the data, so like
Yeah.
visualizations, and table and so on, and kind of include that part.
Yeah, I actually wanted at some point doing it, but it was pretty hard because like the Figma was not very friendly to just copy paste images, and then they were not they were not looking as good as they could. So I just ran doing a video in the analysis part, but yeah, all this charting should be in the analysis. But I think like a video makes it cheaper. Like it's way more cheap to make a video than telling to the designer to add all those charts. And then in the video you can also explain it a little bit. I don't know, like yeah, and then to answer to what Rex said, yeah, like when we were doing the audit, like the first time, we were giving feedback during the whole process, and that's something internal in the working group. Like of course, like we can do that. Like if you see something like you would like to change, just say it.
Like
And
I remember Ivy suggesting something about a survey. I think that was probably after the audit, but I think it would be kind of like an interesting idea to maybe add like at the end of the audit, some kind of transparency survey for the community to get like the sense of people on what they think. Maybe even like the police thing that has been going on around. Maybe that could be a tool, or do some kind of um, survey. I think that would be good. I don't know if Ivy, what happened with that
Yeah.
idea, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I still have to work on it. Do we want to make a type form for it, or do we want it in the forum? I feel like the type form is better because maybe some people prefer to have their feedback more private and can go directly to any of us. Do you think a type form is better, Zepti?
I think Typeform is cool, and then you can add it on the newsletter. But the
Yeah.
last time, like the newsletter didn't come out. The the marketing team was not up to date, so they didn't send the newsletter. But yeah, that's their problem.
I
I think.
actually also have.
Yeah, the idea
I
was
have.
also like had some questions there, but yeah, it didn't happen. But I think like we could make it to the next one. And then for the survey, I think that we should be very careful. Like like the TC was doing surveys at the beginning, a lot of them, and at the end, like people was not even participating. So it's like yeah, like when we do something, we have to target people. Like we need to actually like it's not like just make a survey and distribute it because you also need. I mean, you don't value like everyone's feedback the same, right? Like you need to target like like if you want a survey for the audit, like you want to target, for example, like people in the TC, especially like big holders, and you don't care about what my friend in my village thinks about the audit. Like it's irrelevant. So yeah, that's also something to take in consideration.
I have one comment and question, primarily for Rex. Um, do you know, how to code Solidity, at least on a basic level? Um,
I know if you need someone novice, I'm there because I code in Python and in SQL most of the time. I've used Web3 and I know some JavaScript, but Solidity, I'm like very, very new to it. So like if there's some like project using Solidity, I'll join, I'll contribute, but I can't be like the leader, if that makes sense.
The only reason I'm asking that is because on the last audit we did a markdown version that was supposed to come up as an NFT that we could sort of put on the DAO address. So so like we build a directory of NFTs with important documents such as the audit.
Okay. Yeah, that's not too hard because that's not much Solidity as far as I understand. That's basically grabbing a text file out of the master sheet, say, so exporting that to a text file, and then uploading that to IPFS.
Yeah.
And then putting Open Zeppelin 721 contract, just a standard one, and just putting the IPFS hash on that. Okay. So if you're talking that level, yeah. I thought you meant like actual coding, like proper like complex smart contracts. That no, but this basic stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because we were planning on doing that on the last audit. I texted a few friends and they were kind of up for it, but they really never showed up to any call or anything. And so we still have the markdown from the past audit, and I'm not sure if we're going to make one for this one. But in case we end up doing it, we would need some help with that.
Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, I can help out. I either if I can do it, if I can't do it, I know people who can, but I'll most likely be able to do that one. It doesn't sound like too complex a task.
Anything else?
I think was gonna say something before. I don't know if she still.
Yeah, I have a suggestion for the audit. Like, I know we have this long document, but I still think that infographics will help. Like, we can make, aside from the long form of audit, maybe we can come up with like a summary of like an individual infographic for each section, and that doesn't have to have all the information, but maybe just bits of information for each section. And it can be like a colorful. So I think that's one way we can improve the audit. Like if they don't want to see the long form, at least, and this infographics can go to Twitter as well. This is an idea.
I think actually that's awesome, Ivy. I think like we could actually do that, but we need to decide one thing or the other. Like because designers are expensive, so we need to decide like we make the infographics and then have like the audit in a in a PDF or something, like it's easier, like any of us could do it and we don't need to pay a designer. Or like I think what you say is awesome, but we also need to budget it, so we do one thing
Just
or
a question.
the other.
But why the designers and this Figma? So what can you explain? Because I saw a Word document basically, and so what do you mean by video and like all of this complexity that you're talking about?
It's like if you go in the forum, like you go to the report 0001, it's a Figma. It's not a doc.
Okay. And in Figma, can you add iframes to it?
I don't know what iframes is.
Can you show another web page inside Figma?
Yeah. I mean,
so,
I'm pretty sure. Yes. Yeah. You can do a lot of things with Figma.
because I believe that we can export views from even if from the Dune. I don't think so. From the Google Sheets, you can export either an image, but if it looks bad, then no, or you can export a web page, which scales automatically to size for each of the charts. So if there's like an infographic,
that's something we should talk with the design. And we are actually top of the hour, so if I can stay a little bit longer, but if anyone needs to jump out to another meeting, thank you so much. And yeah, continue, Rich.
las campanas.
Yeah, it's the time.
I think that there's something we can have, we should have in mind that Efra did the template for the last audit, so in any case, it shouldn't be like as expensive because most of the work is just overwriting the information and probably making one or two graphics more. But yeah, and I guess that's something we should ask him to join for the next call or so. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to take as much work in this round.
And we can see how much he charges. I mean, there's no if you're saying that he's a very expensive guy, is his rates the same as the market rates? Can I find someone cheaper?
I mean,
actually, he's quite cheap. Like he was charging like as everyone $19 per hour, and now I'm paying for the designs on the advice page, like we're paying already 35, which is almost the double. But yeah,
it was more about the amount of hours it took on the first round because it was a lot of iterations and moving things around. And so based on that, this time round should be fairly easy.
Okay. Because I know some designers as well, and like in hackathons where we've done some of these things, it takes 10 hours max. like some of the presentations I've seen and so on, and like 10, 15 hours. Like how did you pay him much more than that?
We pay like
are you
600.
Okay.
I think it would be a good idea to based on how much we paid on last audit, kind of make a budget for this one, and have an idea of how much we can spend on what and work based on that.
What I was saying, like when I made the budget for the proposal, I was not thinking on the infographics that Ivy suggested, which is a great idea, and probably an Easter cell. So yeah, I think that's something we can discuss on the next call. I'll add to the agenda and we discuss it on the next call because I think we need some time to discuss, and we already passed 4 minutes, and yeah, I feel bad like everyone's staying here. So thanks everyone.
Thanks, Etsy.
All right.
Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Bye.